Welcome back to another Mayor's Hour. We're going to take you someplace, Jack, that the viewers probably have never seen before, but I mean, it's an important place. It is creating the foundation for our next generation of skilled labor. We are here at the Ironworkers Hall, Local 397, and we're going to talk to some of the guys that are running these apprenticeship programs. If you think about it, Jack, we've got $1 billion of work going on at the airport.
Yeah.
You got Jeff Finnick contemplating $1 billion worth of work in downtown Tampa. We need skilled trades, and we need young people to see the trades as an option for their life for those kids that may not want to go to college. And this apprenticeship program here at Local 397, you're going to be blown away about what they're doing.
Yeah, I've already gotten here early. I'd never heard of this place, had no idea it was out here on US 92, well east of Tampa. And literally, these are the people that built this city.
Yes, yeah, literally and figuratively.
And I talked to one who built the old First National Bank building. He was on it from the ground all the way to the top with a structure, I think 48 stories or whatever it was. And that was, well, after the Exchange Bank building, the first real skyscraper in Tampa.
I mean, you think about those guys that we see up on these towers, laying that steel, doing the iron work. Many of them come from this apprenticeship program. Not all of them are union, which is fine. But having those apprenticeship programs to train these young folks, to give them an opportunity for a better life and a well-paying job with great health care. Not everyone's going to college.
Yep.
But we need to offer a path to that middle class, and this is one way we do it. I'm excited about this. We're going to, you and I may weld you to something.
I bet they got a surprise or two for you before the show is over.
So we'll see if they can penetrate these shirts.
And the tie. They may have to weld that to
It is welded to me.
Like that. But this is really the program that they put on there. And again, you say some union, some non-union, is really amazing for the next generation and getting the people that are going to continue to build this city.
All right, stay with us. We got Jack Jarrell, who's the business manager of Local 397, coming up with us. We're going to talk about the apprenticeship program. You're going to see what they do out here. If you have a young son or daughter that's interested in the trades, this would be a great place to start. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's good to be the mayor.
He wants you right over there. On the ground. On the ground.
Come on out.
1, 2, 3.
Wow. Jackets will fully inflate and you're ready to enter the water.
Jack, we're here with the guy that makes the magic happen here. This is Jack Jarrell. He is the business manager for Local 397. But you're also the president of the Florida Gulf Coast Trades and Construction
Trades, yes, sir.
There we go. I knew I would get that right. So you wear a bunch of hats.
Quite a few, yes.
And by the way, that is a nice jacket.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm proud of it. It's not a master's jacket, but
It looks good. It looks
Or it
good.
could be a USF jacket.
yeah, there you go. I like that even better. US.
So Jack, tell us what goes on here. Tell us what your job is and then what goes on here.
What my job is here is I manage the local union. I'm elected by the members here to take care of the business of the local union and also oversee the training here at Local 397. Also co-chair of multiple different funds, healthcare, pension, and annuity, so on and so forth. I'm also a counselor. I'm also wear quite a few hats and help our members and help the communities in all various different ways. But that's basically what I do.
Most people are not, as is the case with me, are not even close to aware that this is out here because unfortunately now most people don't travel 92 much and don't even see the building or anything. But how long has this been here and how did this all develop here?
This charter here, which we're affiliated with the International Association of Bridge, Structural, Ornamental, and Reinforcing Ironworkers.
Wait, now say that again slowly because there was very inclusive there.
International Association of Bridge, Structural, Ornamental, and Reinforcing Ironworkers, which was established February 4th, 1896. This chapter here was chartered in August 25th, 1924. So we've been in Tampa Bay area since 1924, and that's we're going on over 91 years.
That's a pretty long history in Tampa.
Yeah, it's very long.
How long has this building been out here?
We have been here since about 1975. We first started on Franklin Street and moved to Columbus Drive and then to Brandon, and then finally we purchased this place in 1975, if I'm not mistaken, and we've been here ever since.
And your members have been involved in the construction and the ironwork of probably every tower in downtown Tampa, I would imagine.
Quite a few, yes. Anywhere from the aquarium to Raymond James Stadium. If you look around the skyline of Tampa, we have most likely been on that project of some facet of the trade, yes.
And tell us what an ironworker does.
An ironworker, we're a diverse craft. We do anything from reinforcing steel to structural steel, welding to curtain wall, storefronts. You see facades on buildings, and also power rigging when it comes to lifting in your power industry, 500 tons, that's ironworkers doing that work.
What's the advantage of picking union workers, union iron workers, aside from the fact that you know that they have the skills necessary?
The advantage is you get a skilled, trained worker. You get certifications when that iron worker or that craftsman that comes out of a training center, he's been properly trained in safety and his personal protective equipment. He walks on the job with certifications, drug-free.
So you really are getting a better class of worker. I mean, obviously more proficient,
yes,
better trained, more skilled, and so that really, for an employer or someone who owns a job, that is a tremendous asset to have that workforce available to you.
Yeah. And the productivity, there's been some studies done by third-party organizations that compare union to, we call them, I don't like the word non-union, but union, let's just say non-union, and the productivity is about 25%. The study shows 17, but we know it's a little higher than that, but it's about 25% more productivity when you hire a skilled craftsman.
Yeah, and you all are helping develop the next generation of these skilled craftsmen as well. Explain the apprentice programs and what you all are doing in that vein.
How the apprenticeship programs work here is everyone that fills out an application has the same potential as everyone else. They're processed, they go through, they fill out an application, they go to an orientation meeting to see if they if the trade is what they want to do. And when that process goes through, they go into a pre-apprenticeship class that teaches them, gives them their safety, some of their safety training, and teaches them about the trade. And then after that, they go through an interview, which then the Joint Apprenticeship Training Committee, that is governed by labor and management, will interview them, and then they get accepted in the program.
About how many do you have in the program right now that will be this next generation of iron workers and those who do ornamental as well as everything else there?
As of July, we should have enrolled about 90.
Wow.
That's great, because this is highly required skills. I mean, you got to really know your stuff, and you're doing that.
And one of the things, at our capacities, we're running about 1% over the capacity of what we could actually put through this program. So we have plenty of space, plenty of room to move young men and women through this program.
So you have, and I wasn't aware of this until you and I sat down a couple months ago, a very long, extensive relationship with the Hillsborough County school system.
Yes, sir. For
any number of apprenticeship programs. Tell us a little bit about that.
The relationship we have with Hillsborough County Schools, which we receive its occupational completion points. When a student completes 1 year of training through the Department of Education, we receive $2,000 that help fund this program and helps our local contractors keep this training program up and running. We also have available with some training at different sites with Aparicio Levy, Irwin Tech. We do some training there. Outside of this facility here, and and also some materials. They help us with equipment and things like that.
What are you talking about in the way of tuition and everything for some young person or parents who have a young person that might be interested in a program like that? What all is involved from start to finish, and what kind of payment is going to be required?
Zero.
Zero.
Say that again, Jack.
That's
Zero.
It doesn't cost anyone besides union membership, which is very minimal. It doesn't cost a student to come here. Doesn't cost them anything.
And what skills specifically do they learn? I know obviously welding has to be one of them with the iron working and everything else, but what other kinds of skills do they learn?
The skills they'll learn, I'll start with certifications. They will certify under AWS standards as a certified welder and 2 procedures. They will certify there. They will qualify and certify as a rigger and signalman for cranes, which is very critical these days. They will also gain knowledge of the different facets of the trade of reinforcing steel, structural steel, to carry them, and how to plumb a building.
Now what,
20-story building.
I got to ask what plumbing a building is. You putting plumbing in, or?
No. You want the you want the building straight up and down. Yes, yeah. You don't want it to lean too much.
Virginia,
but
boy, I don't know about that. I know
Are you
everything's
from West
plumb
Virginia?
good or plumb bad. Yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't have plumbing where he grew up.
We didn't have plumbing. It was out back.
I'm from West Virginia myself.
Oh,
what part are
God.
you
You all
from?
probably related.
We all are. We all are. You better believe it.
Webster County.
Oh, I'm from down in Logan County.
Okay, well, my grandparents were from
Meet your cousin.
Yes, we're all cousins up
Boone
there.
County. Yeah, my grandparents were from Boone
All right,
County.
right next to Logan County, Madison.
Boy, it must be my lucky day. I'm stuck between 2 mountaineers.
2 hillbillies.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I've already said enough.
Right
You
in the
said that.
draft here. You're right in the draft of the hillbillies.
No, I'll speak slowly and a little worse.
Well,
so
we
you
got
guys
they
figure-
don't call us hillbillies anymore. We're now Appalachian Americans.
Yes.
Much better.
a protected class, right?
Yes, a
And now you want
protected
special
class.
treatment or something?
We need it. We need it. believe
All
me.
right, Jack, back to stop messing with your cousin. You'll see him at the family reunion. All right, so 0 cost. So if somebody's watching the show and they say, I want to learn how to be a welder, an iron worker, what do they do? What's the process? Do they call here? Do they take a test? Do they do anything?
They come down here, fill out an application,
Right.
Bring driver's license, social security card, and the process starts.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And how do you make that knowledge known to potential students?
We do presentations all over the 16 counties that we cover. We go to high schools. We actually, in Nature Coast up in Hernando County, is looking to adopt our welding manuals for their high school students, and we utilize the school systems, P-TECH, HCC, and do presentations so these students know that we're here.
And you're operating at 1% of your capacity?
Yes, sir.
All right.
1%.
We're going to go to a different segment. You're interested in learning a skill? Come down to Local 397. Ask for Jack Jarrell. Don't ask for his cousin. And you can change your life. There's a lot of opportunities here. We'll see in a little bit, but come down and take him up on his offer. Stay with us.
I never felt all that special. But in the wake of an earthquake, we can all do something. When donating goods, it's hard to know what's needed. So now it's my turn to help. Aid workers can spend me locally, where I can help save lives. Someone is doing better because of me. Together, we made that happen.
All right, cousin, we're back. Now that you found your long-lost family member, which
Hey, we're all family. up
happy to
there.
facilitate this. That was a good emotional experience for you, I know. Actually, you heard us talk with Jack Jarrell earlier in the segment about the relationship with the school system.
Yeah.
And I really was not aware of how long that relationship has been going on, but more importantly, the depth of it. I mean, the school system really is a pipeline for young people into trades.
Yeah, that's the depth of it, I think, is the key word there. You're right about that.
Yeah, so Scott Brooks is here with us. Scott, what is your title within the system?
I'm the General Director for Career Technical and Adult Education.
Okay. Now, as we talked about, there's a lot of kids, probably the majority of kids, that are not going to go to college.
Right.
College is not for everyone, as much as we would hope that they would continue their education. But the opportunity for the school system to prepare these young people for a career in the trades and is really, really important. And so tell us about this relationship. Tell us what it is that you guys do. You're a pipeline for a lot of skilled workers that are doing things around this city that are unheralded, but very, very important.
Yes, sir. We have a lot of different programs in our high schools and middle schools, and we use those as recruitment grounds or feeder grounds for programs such as this. As we look at building Tampa and the Tampa Bay region, as we look at growing and moving forward, we've got to have a workforce in place to be able to be prepared for that. And so we kind of feel like we're the farm team. And we're working in the middle schools and high schools to prepare kids. And then when those students graduate and they're looking at different occupations around, this is a great way for those individuals to move in, find a job that will earn a living wage, and stay here, not have to leave our community.
And how are you finding young people? And I've got young children. They're not yet in high school. How do they look at the trades and the opportunity for a career in the trades these days?
Well, and one of the things that we've done is we've had to market. We're not the old wood shops and the old shops that sometimes were around.
Shop class. You remember shop class?
Shop class.
Yeah. I was a train wreck in shop class.
We've changed some of that around, and we've tried to stay up with technology and look at the welding and in the old days we would maybe purchase a small little simulator. Well, today we're actually going out and we're talking with the business leaders and we're talking with the unions and the iron workers, and we're buying the real equipment that they're using so that kids are actually using that real equipment. They're seeing those actual machines, and that tends to spark a lot of kids' interest. There's still a large group of students out there that like to work with their hands. They enjoy building things and making things, and they get a lot of pleasure out of seeing things that they've built to grow up. And so we have programs in our high schools, and a lot of these, Jack and the iron workers will come out to our schools and talk to students and explain the benefits. And then sometimes the parents and grandparents and other people have encouraged them. And sometimes students will graduate not sure what they want to do. They may even go to college and do a semester, 2 semesters, and realize this isn't really what I want. Yeah. And then they'll come back, and then it's a perfect opportunity to move into our programs.
Kids that have natural talents for working with their hands, that kind of thing too. The kids that did well in shop.
Yeah, which I was not one of them.
And I was not one of them either. But how much of an opportunity is there? I mean, how much demand is there when these kids are prepared, when they're trained, to pretty much 80, 90, 100% of them able to get jobs around here?
Yes, sir. And I think with right now, one of our biggest concerns is with all the growth that's coming, will we be prepared? And I think it's that skilled labor, and you look just about every industry, everyone is demanding it, everyone's calling for it. And these jobs a lot of these individuals are going to make more money than the college graduate, and a lot of entry-level college jobs. And so we really are having to work to try to get those students prepared and try to get a nice group of them ready for this influx of building.
So how do we, you heard Jack say that they have significantly more capacity here. How do we get more of these kids from your pipeline over to here or to other apprenticeship programs so that down the road, as I continue to build this city, that there's an available supply of labor so that we don't have to import folks from either out of the country or out of the state, that we can hire our people here?
Absolutely. I think it's the fact that this is a great job. This is a great career. It's not just a job, but this is a career that these young people can go into with benefits, with retirement, with a package that will be with them for years to come. And then they can stay here, raise their family here, keep their kids in our schools, pay their taxes back into our community and be strong members. So I think that's really our goal. I think it's opportunities like this to really get the word out. But to really promote what a great occupation this is.
And at the same time, you all do have connections with other counties, should there be demand in other places, so you don't have to just be here. I mean, if there isn't quite what they're looking for here, it might be available in Escambia or some other county.
Yes, sir, and this is home to us, and this is where we work and a lot of our efforts here, but we do work with Duval, Escambia, Alachua, several other counties that have apprenticeship programs. We do work with them, we help them, we're their fiscal agent that goes through the state. We've been doing it for a long time here, and we've got a really good staff that is very proficient in working with these programs and supporting them. And so in some of those other areas, when they've wanted to start some things or they haven't had been successful, we've kind of adopted them, taken them on, and we've been working with them so that they can also, build Florida. As we're also building Tampa, there are, Duval and some other areas that they're building. And if we do have projects that need labor, we know we've got at least some other skilled people that we can move in here from the state.
And this is kind of a paradigm program, I guess, here, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And this is really one of the flagships, and this is one of the ones that we're really proud of. We've had a long-standing relationship, and it's not just, it's really a partnership between the school district, the union here, and our business community. I think if any one of us tried to do this training facility, it wouldn't be as successful. But I think the three of us all working together have really developed a strong partnership that I think really benefits this community.
Other than ironworking, what other types of apprenticeship programs do you have in the district?
Yes, sir. We've got a diesel mechanics, we've got a plumbing apprenticeship, we've got an electrical apprenticeship, the millwrights.
Right.
I'll probably forget one and I'll be in trouble.
And are those all associated with organized labor?
Not all of them.
Okay.
We actually work with both groups.
Okay.
And for us, as long as we're really skilled labor, that's really our push. And we have them. It's probably 60-40 split.
And do the millwrights and some of the other trades have a facility as extensive as this one?
Yes, they're probably not quite as nice as this one, but they all vary depending on the size of those institutions and how long they've been around. Some of them haven't had the history that this facility has had. As we look at it, we're just trying to get the young people employed. We're trying to get them into one of these programs. Our ultimate goal is for our students to graduate, get a job, become citizens, become tax-paying citizens, raise their families here, and help us build this great city.
And we know, obviously, one advantage in the union is you've got collective bargaining that goes on, that kind of thing. And so I guess it's just up to them individually then to decide, I want to join the union, I'll pay a little in dues, but in return, I'll probably get higher wages or something like that because of the collective bargaining deal.
And I think it's different for every person. I think individually the students have to make that choice that's right for them, and then they go into there. And we support them either way. We work with all those groups.
All right. Scott, thank you. Keep up the good work. For those young people, you heard me say it earlier, if you want a great career, go into the trades. If you're in the school system, get involved. These guys can help you. We need skilled labor out here. We're going to build a brand new city over the next 5 years, and we need people to help us. So get involved, come on out here, and stay with us. We'll see you in a bit, and they may get me out there doing something. I don't know what, but
I think they are.
They will not pass inspection, I promise you.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Jack, this next segment is with one of the guys who's going to hire these folks when they're coming out of this apprenticeship program. I mean, this is the employer right here. This is, after they go through this, after they learn a skill, Conrad Varnum is typical of an employer that would pick up some of these folks that are coming out of this program. Tell us about your company, tell us what you do, and tell us why you do it.
We're a heavy industrial construction maintenance company. We have steel fabrication capabilities.
And it's central maintenance and welding,
Central maintenance and welding, yes. We're in East Hillsborough County.
Right.
Been here this is our 49th year. My dad and a couple other guys started the company back in 1966.
Wow.
And we got through the transition, and we're second generation now.
That's great.
And we're really proud of what we're doing. One of the few union companies left in the area, but it fits our model. And the jobs that we do, we'll have to ramp up and ramp down. And with the unions, we get a very skilled workforce, but we work them as long as we can need to use them, and then when it gets time, the work slows back down. We send them back to the hall, and they go back to other opportunities. Right.
Now, name some of the projects that you all have been involved with that people would recognize, or things that you've done around the Tampa Bay area.
They may not recognize the projects. Some of our bigger clients, well, our biggest clients are Mosaic in Polk County.
Oh, yeah.
Tico, which everybody that turns their lights on are familiar with that, and also Duke. We do a lot of work with Duke Energy. So those are our bigger projects. We'll work in their boilers. We'll fabricate and erect structural steel at times. We have a real strong rotating equipment group, work on their pumps, fans. Help keep the plants going is really our biggest job.
How many people do you hire? How big is your company, first of all? How many workers do you have now, and how many do you hire on any given basis?
Our average employment is around 400. That's our yearly average. We'll issue 1,100 to 1,200 W-2s in the course of a year.
Wow.
Because our part of our workforce is fluctuating. Sure. You know, we're not going to get the same guy today that we got last week all the time. So between all the different halls we use, and we're going to go through a lot of guys during the course of the year.
But you know what's interesting, and I think it's important what he just said, the consistency of the workforce, irrespective of whether or not it's the same guy, is the same.
Right.
So you come through this program and you get trained. You know, it's not one fly-by-night operation. You know what you're doing. It doesn't have to be the same guy, but you're going to get the same level of service by picking up someone who's been through this apprenticeship program. And has that been your experience?
Yes, sir. I mean, you know, you always have the best, but these training programs have really come so far in the last 8 to 10 years. It's really remarkable. And they put out such a good product. I mean, these kids they're savvy. They are sophisticated. You know, a lot of our industry is going more towards tech also, so the iPads are going to come in handy. But no, these are sophisticated, smart, strong young people coming in. They're looking for good careers. That's what we're looking for.
Right,
we want people that want to make a home here. They want to be able to feed their families and have a good retirement.
And how much are you impacted by the economy or the fluctuations in the economy? Because I know a few years ago we had a little downturn, and then there are the upturns that we're hoping for.
Absolutely, heavily. We're impacted heavily. You know, it's our job to try to stay diversified to the point that during the downtimes in our, what I'd call our normal work, that we have other things that help keep the boat floating, and that's, you know, we worked real hard on that. We actually work outside of the state as well, but the core of our business is in the East Hillsboro and the Polk County area.
And are you seeing an increase in activity in the last year?
It's kind of leveled out, actually. The economy and the business that we're in is, you know, the Mosaics of the world. Everybody's facing international pressures, and you know, they're looking to save money. Well, us being one of their big expenses in maintenance, they're looking at us too. So it's been a little tough for the last couple of years, but you know, 49 years.
You've been through this before.
Yeah, we've been through it before.
Supposedly we're looking at maybe a little upturn here, and
well,
certainly around the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, we keep hearing that the lack of skilled tradesmen is really going to be a bigger problem. It's just not quite hit us here yet.
Okay, so you're not finding difficulty finding tradesmen yet?
Well, it depends on what time of the year it is.
Yeah.
And the outage seasons, which are spring and fall.
And what is an outage season?
That's going to be when the weather is easier to deal with. Okay. It's cooler. You know, the power plants aren't going to be running as hard. And now when in the phosphate, which is where a lot of our business is, they have generation capabilities. They'll sell their power to TECO as well. So whenever people aren't using as much electricity, that's when these companies want to do their maintenance work. And that's what we call the outage seasons.
Okay, I see.
So when you're not running all those ACs all over the place.
Right, and then, you know, those time of the years, we may call all the halls and they're going to be empty. And that's the reason what you're talking about here. We need good young people coming into the trades.
Interesting.
Well, we know you all teach them, or they're taught the skills, and then they learn on-the-job training too, I'm sure, as well. What qualities are you looking for in the people that you're going after? Obviously, they have to be skilled or know what they're doing. But
somebody that's not afraid of work. You know, this safety is the biggest thing in our industry. We expect these guys to want to come in and leave the same way every day, with all their fingers and toes, and you know, we want them to go home safely to their families. That attention to the safety and hazard recognition is one of the biggest things we're looking for. Integrity. Values that anybody's going to look for. You know, we want good, strong, smart, hard-working young people, and that's typically what the trades are going to attract. I don't know if they said it as well as emphatically as I would have, but they don't take just everybody. I mean, this is
that's good.
They make sure that these kids coming in here they have the right stuff. So,
which ends up in a better work product for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there certain jobs, certain kinds of skills that are that give a greater return than others? I mean, is it kind of a scale like this will pay this much, this much, this much, and so on down?
Yes, sir. And I would say to any kid out there, learn how to weld. Welders are at a premium. I think the estimates I heard were looking from anywhere from 100 to 200,000 that we're going to be short of qualified welders over the next few years. So learn how to weld.
Nationwide or just in this area?
Southeast is what we're the biggest. That's where I hear that. But
well, I'm going to need a job in 4 years, so maybe
we're always looking for good people.
Can I dress like this?
Absolutely.
Well, he would. He would be the only welder out there with a tie on, a sport coat.
Yeah, I wouldn't last too long in the hall, I don't think.
But then it goes down from that welding and then.
But we have a lot of. You good with your tools. The millwrights is another craft that we rely on pretty heavily, and learning how to. It's really gotten technical with them as far as identifying issues with equipment. The ironworkers, of course, we've always had a real strong relationship with them. Been pretty much our go-to craft for 49 years.
Wow.
Boilermakers as well. You know, they each trade, the pipe fitters, each trade has their specialty that they do better than anybody else, and they're critically important to the industry.
Well, I can tell you as we wrap this one up, I worked on a job I would in the summers between college, and I was carrying rebar one time, and the rebar pinched off a section of my hand. So I don't think I'm made for the or my arm right here. So I'm not going to go into
That parts.
It did, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. But anyway, Conrad, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Wish you all the success in another 49 years. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to get out there and get dirty. We'll see you.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
All right, we're back. We are actually going to see what takes place here. Jack, this is pretty cool. This is the building which the students come in and learn. You see some of the steel set up here. They learn how to tie the rebar. Over here, they're going to learn how to weld. This is pretty cool stuff. I've been out here a bunch of times before, but now we actually get to see and meet one of the students.
This is a classroom, basically,
it is.
right here.
This is a classroom where you learn the trades. JT is the instructor, has been out here, but more importantly, Sam is the student. And as the father of 2 daughters, I think this is really cool. I mean, I was not expecting to see a young woman out here, but I think that is amazing. That just tells me that the diversity of this workforce is changing, that young women are looking at this as a career. You told me your dad was an iron worker.
Yes, sir.
So you are a second generation iron worker. And I'm really excited to see you. And I know you're nervous, but it's okay. If you can climb up there and you can climb up there, this is a piece of cake. So why did you do this?
My father introduced me to the ironworkers, Richard Steck, and I like to work more hands-on, so it inspired me to join this because you get to do a lot of hands-on, learning rebar and structural steel.
And so you saw your dad do this his entire career?
Yes, I grew up with him being an ironworker.
Huh.
How do you feel about being in a field that's mostly dominated by a male?
It's really interesting. You definitely have to prove yourself out there, and you have to get in there and let you do things, because sometimes they won't let you do it because you're a female. You gotta push them out of the way and take advantage of it, So I enjoy being out there, and I'm usually the only female that's out there.
I don't think you have any trouble pushing them out of the way.
No.
All 4 foot, some of you.
5'3".
5'3", there we go. I think that is probably the toughest 5'3" that's out here on the job.
Now, tell us about your experiences so far. I mean, you came out of high school, and what happened from then on? At what point are you in your career now?
I joined in December 2010, and I've excelled from there. I'm a 4th-year apprentice now. I'm supposed to be topping out in January of next year. And I've learned a lot. My favorite class was the structural mock-up back here.
That would be that big, huge thing behind us.
We had to tear it down and then put it back up.
Really? You tear it down and put it back up as part of the class?
Yes.
Wow.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now,
usually in about 6 days, they'll actually take that entire building down, every single piece, and then rebuild it.
Oh my.
So when you top out, and we asked you off camera what that means, but then what happens to you? Where are you in your career?
I'll become a journeyman, and that means I can travel and go to any states and work wherever. I'm pretty much wide open, instead of being in a jurisdiction like an apprentice has to be.
Now, did you come directly out of high school into this program, or did you kind of bounce around for a while?
I bounced around for a while, and then...
Waited tables or something? And
yeah, and then my father was like, hey,
time to go.
Time to go to the ironworker, so...
That's great.
He knew I liked hands-on and knew I'd make through it, so...
Now, JT, this is one of your students.
She is, and she's doing very good.
And so what do you do out here? You're the one that teaches them, that takes them and molds them from a...
I started off here at the hall as an instructor, and I'm now the coordinator. And yes, we're very proud of them as they come in and they learn. And Sam's been doing very well. I've actually known her since she was very small. Her father and I have worked together in the past.
Oh, that's great.
So
did you ever follow your dad to the jobs and
I
take
did
your
out in
daughters to work
Vegas.
every day?
No, you couldn't do it. It's hard to do that.
Kind of hard on a construction
It's kind of
site.
hard to do that, but I did out in Vegas, and it was really cool.
That's great.
Now, as for you, JT, how did you get to the level you are? I mean, how did that all come about?
Well, my progression, I've been doing ironworking for about 28 years. And then I came over here to the Tampa local. I've been working out of the local now for about a year and 3 months. And what my career is I've traveled extensively throughout the nation and a lot throughout the world, building huge stadiums for companies.
Oh, stadiums. What are some of the stadiums you built?
Some of the stadiums, like the big ones I've been on, like Discovery for, in Arizona, the University of Phoenix Stadium, they call it now.
Yeah.
For the Cardinals, the big retractable roof on that. My last big job before I came home, I worked on the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. Just
the biggest. Yes.
Well, there may be an opportunity. No, I won't even go there.
I knew you were going to have to go there. I was running through my mind too. And
when's he going to go
there?
Well, we have experienced workers here in the Tampa Bay area in case that comes up.
I just wish you had $600 million you could lend.
But how much, when you look at the experience itself that she's gone through, how much of it is classroom, actual notes, papers, pencils, and how much is actual hands-on training like this?
Well, Jack, actually, we spend about 40% of our time in classroom learning, book learning with the workbooks and the reference manuals, and then we come out here about 60% of the time, the actual hands-on portion, where they actually take everything apart, learn how to do it, whether it's a structural mock-up or whether it's the rebar or whether it could be curtain wall and glass like we see beside us here. And all the different parts of the trade that we try to teach them. And most of their learning is actually happening out in the field. When they're working with our journeymen, the journeymen kind of mentor them out there, and so they
go out and actually work along with them.
Yes.
And yeah, when you rebar, you might explain that to the unwashed masses out here that don't know what rebar is.
Well, the reinforcing steel or the rebar, that is the main basis of most all buildings and roadways and bridges. So if it's made out of concrete, it has that reinforcing bar that holds that concrete together to hold its form and shape, and it adds a lot of the strength to it also.
In looking at something like this, a classroom project, that one is still mind-boggling every time I look at it, but what do students say when they see that for the first time? Okay, we're going to take this down and put it back again.
Well, that's actually a very unique building. For people that preceded me, they actually thought ahead and they built that building out of like 20 different types of connections.
Just to let them practice on different types of...
Yeah, because most buildings only have anywhere from 4 to 5 different type of connections. That's why they involved a lot of different, so they have hands-on experience of building it. So when they see it again in the field, they know how to handle the situation.
Do most of the students get to work in the field and get certified for what they wanted to do when they first came into the program? And
yes, sir. Yeah, it even started as a pre-apprenticeship, and they learn from there whether they really want to do the job or not. And then as they work on the job training, they're out learning for at least 5.5 months between classes. Like for us, our semester, we follow along with the Hillsborough County school system, is in our semester, we teach them in 2 weeks. So we cram that 100 hours of semester into 2 weeks. They come in from 7 o'clock in the morning till 5:30 in the afternoon for 100 hours for 2 weeks straight, and that's how they learn. And we kind of compress that education into them, and then they go back out to the workforce and work for our contractors and learn more even on the on-job.
So how did you find the academics versus the hands-on stuff? Was the academics harder?
In some aspects, yes, and some of it, no. I enjoy hands-on more, so I couldn't wait to get out and work on that instead.
What do most students say when they see that, though? I mean, that still is mind-boggling to me. When they first see that, you're going to tear it down and build back up again.
Well, we as instructors, we teach kind of like our crews out in the field. And that's why we worked in the field as superintendents and foremen, and so we know how to build them. And so we utilize our students as the crew, and then they get the first-hand feeling, and we teach them how to be that foreman and that leader, to identify the parts and pieces of a building, to lay it all down, identify them, look at the blueprint, and rebuild it again. And we rotate our positions so each one gets a hand-on feel for it. So not just one's, rigging or one's just bolting up. They all get to have the opportunity to experience the building itself.
So have you started talking to future employers yet?
Actually, I've been with Central Maintenance and Welding for the past three years, and they've treated me really good. So I've been with them ever since.
That's great.
So, I'm just going to stay with them until further notice.
And I would assume, though, with again the great things that are happening in the Tampa Bay area, maybe even another stadium, it is going to be built somewhere, and we don't. We're not sure where, but I mean, given with what's happening in Vinnickville or whatever we're ultimately going to call that, and all of the other big things happening, companies coming to town and everything, I would assume there will be no end to the opportunities for young people.
There is. I think the growing opportunities are here, and with the help of the city and everything, we can get those projects going and be a fantastic opportunity for a lot of people and a lot of employers here in our area.
Oh yeah, we're going to get them going. You don't have to worry about that.
What advice would you have for young people who are in high school now, or in, say, sophomores, juniors maybe, but looking ahead? What direction should they go who are looking at this program saying, that's for me, or parents even that are saying, that's for my kid, I think?
I think that they should come and try it out, and hopefully they excel in it, because it's a lot of hands-on. You learn from welding and doing window work to reinforcing steel. You learn all kinds of stuff, and you learn something new every day, which is awesome. And I enjoy that.
And you're outdoors?
Outdoors.
A lot of the time? Yeah.
All the time. But majority of the time.
Now, you didn't do the apprenticeship program in high school. You came to this after high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's great.
And how much time does it involve, the apprenticeship program, once you're into that, as opposed to, say, being on the workforce?
We got to take 2 weeks every 6 months to come to class. And if you want to learn more, like if you want to work more on your welding, then you come on your own time and you can practice welding. They'll supply you with everything you need to work on your welding and everything. And you got instructors here to help you with whatever you need.
But to get that journeyman's card, it is what, 4 years?
4 years.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the journeyman, what comes after that?
You top out, and then you're able to move anywhere you want. You don't have to, call the hall and say, hey, I need another job. You're able to call out and look for your own work in a way.
And is there any other layers above a journeyman?
Yes.
Yeah, is there?
What's after that?
Well, mostly they'll learn to move up, they'll be on a crew, then they'll become that foreman. Then they'll move up, become that general foreman on the job. And that general foreman, he's running many crews. And then that superintendent, he's usually running that whole job site. And then they move up even further into like the site management side and project management. and all those different steps that come with it. And I personally know because I've experienced each one of those levels, and now that I'm home.
Great. But once you're a journeyman, that gives you the baseline certification to go weld or do ironwork anywhere. That's all you need. That's like your passport.
Because when you're apprenticeship, you have a jurisdiction that you kind of stay in.
Okay, so you have to operate out of the hall. And,
Correct.
Okay.
And you have to, if you get laid off, then you have to call the hall and get your name put back on the list in order to get called out again. It kind of works in order.
Well, you know, I'm going to be done being mayor in 4 years, so you think I stand a chance coming out here and
oh yeah,
doing this?
An exciting career.
Maybe they can test
You going to be
it
my
out,
supervisor?
Maybe one day. Anybody could be your supervisor. You never know.
I got a whole house full of women in my house. All my supervisors, including my 9-year-old. So you don't have to worry about that. I get bossed around by a lot of women. All right, stay with us. JT and Sam, we're going to watch Sam do some pretty amazing things that I am not going to do. But we got... Nah, I know. She's going to embarrass me now. But stay with us. This is exactly what we're talking about. Come out and learn a trade. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right, Sam, go. Lock it in each time. Keep moving. Come on. Keep going. Each up. There you go. Lock it in. Keep going. Move it. Come on. Get up there. Get up quicker. You can get it. Keep going. Keep going. Look up. Good job.
All right, suit up.
Not a chance. I'm done. All right, Jack, it's time to suit up.
For you.
Did you see Sam go up that pole?
That was amazing. And they were telling me the record, and they do this competition all the time, the record is 4.5 seconds. And I pointed out that if you laid it on the ground, I couldn't run from one end to the other in that time. and the way Sam did it was incredible. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. She was there.
JT, I don't know what she ate for breakfast, but
she did good.
She was rocking up that. All right, so I'm going to suit up here in just a second. JT says this is the basic welder's belt.
No, this is a basic structural belt.
Structural belt.
Is he going to climb to the top of this one?
Yeah, this one would be easier.
Yeah. He says this weighs about 30 pounds.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right. I'm used to carrying an extra
so
at least
we'll just
15
put the belt on at least.
Look at that. That belt in the back with all of those, with that harness and all kinds of tools.
Here we go.
These tools weigh a jillion tons.
Well, these are where our men actually, like the structural building we were standing in front of, this is what our men actually wear to build those.
Can you buy this at Brooks Brothers?
Partially. No.
Otherwise, I guess I'm out of luck.
Well,
all right, so what are we doing now?
Well, we have a part of our mock-up, we have a tilted beam. And so with this, we're going to actually just have you take some of the tools and set a bolt. So to see experience what the men do. So we use a bullpen. Okay. And so in the back of your tools there behind you, we have what we call an 8-pound hammer.
Oh, this is, yeah, I could use this on city council. There we go. Now we're talking.
And then we use a bullpen. Let's grab one out of your bag here.
All right.
And we'll do is we'll take the bullpen.
All right.
And we're looking to put it in the hole to line up the holes to be able so we can set a bolt.
So all right. Everybody stand back.
If I match my fingers, JT.
It'll hurt.
Yeah, it will hurt. I can switch hands and do it easier.
I think you got it, Mayor.
All right, we should be pretty much lined up.
Just set it down. We can set a bolt. Just, if you want to just set it on the ground.
I'll hold that.
Yeah, but you know what, Jack, you know what, I just did something really bad because if you're 40 stories up, you can't put that on here because if that falls, it's going to kill somebody.
Creates that dropped object.
Yep. You got to put it back in the.
And then we take one of the bolts, we slide it in from the back. I'll hold the hammer for you. All right.
And you don't have anybody up there to hold a hammer for you.
No, I don't. I got Sam though. Sam wouldn't leave me up here by myself. All right.
All right, over on your side, you have 2 structural, over here, they're called spud wrenches, 3/4 spud wrenches.
Okay.
You have one more, and you use these, one on each side.
One to hold it?
Yep. And you go ahead and tighten it down.
Well, you did know at least that much. That puts you ahead of me.
I hope they have about a decade to build this building.
Well, could you imagine doing that, though, on about 50 stories up, sitting on a beam?
No, I would not. Where's my journeyman's card?
That's it. You got it, Mayor.
Come on, Sam. All right. Jack, we're good?
You look like you know what you're doing there.
Yeah, well,
Mayor, we'll get all that
That's
extra
not
weight
bad.
off you, and we'll show you how to do a little bit of reinforcing ties.
All right.
Does he get to take that off?
Yes.
You got another one for him?
Well, actually, we'll just do a small belt situation over here since we won't be going up high. We have a little reinforcing mat over here.
Do they make little industrial ties that he could wear if he was on a job 50 stories up? Little industrial.
Is that the brick?
See what I got to put up with, Jack?
You'd have to have a necktie.
So would you be left or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Right-handed. So we're going to put a reel, the reel, wire reel. You're going to keep it on your left side. And I'll
That's
put
another
one
thing.
on.
You definitely wouldn't have 50 stories up as a necktie.
Yeah.
Gets in the way a little bit.
The necktie might possibly be in your way. But with our belts, we'll just do a couple of a simple basic tie. And this is some cutting pliers or 9 pliers. Okay. And we hold those just like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the wire. And I'll just clip, this one's got a little curve to it. And I did it over here on our mat. We're just going to do a simple snap tie. We come in behind it.
Okay.
Pull it to you. All right, we're going to twist it. Half a turn, let go.
Is this what they put the
Grab it at the
rebar
knot.
together with?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And then
Oops, just get pulled out a little bit and turn it another half a turn.
this brings back not so fond
It
memories from
gets
my
tight,
days.
and that's it. That's what they call a snap tie.
Except I was the guy having to schlep the rebar around because I was the college kid. The only thing they thought I was good for was getting lunch.
But with this, and like this is part of Sam's competition, and right now she's tying about 25 of these snap ties in 1 minute.
In a minute?
In a
do
minute.
25 of those, put it around and twist it and go to the next one and
Yes,
the next
Jack.
one.
Sam,
and
you
have to
rock.
pull it out. Boy, I'll say.
While she's going up the pole.
This, the closest I do to this is opening a loaf of bread with
Or a can of beer, right?
A can of beer, I can handle that.
Does opening a can of beer qualify him as an iron worker?
Anything. That's an aluminum worker these days.
All right, JT, I need my journeyman's card.
Okay, we'll get that journeyman's card on your way for you,
All
Mayor.
right. Yeah, I remember doing this in the summertime. I think the building fell down, but you know. it's all
Wait, you got to
good.
cut the other end. You got too much end there.
Yeah,
There we go. See, I can be a critique.
All right, Jack. JT, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Mayor.
Appreciate what you're doing. Keep training those iron workers and keep finding young ladies like Sam to win that competition. We're counting on her. You represent Tampa, sister.
Yep.
All right, so you better not bring home anything but first place.
All right.
Jack, that was cool. That was cool.
was.
I don't stand a chance of being an iron worker, but it's amazing to watch Sam, and Sam is just indicative of a lot of the students that are here. The amazing instruction that they're getting, and this local that's providing a pathway for these young folks to have a career. Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Makes you appreciate it when you drive around town. You see construction underway now, and you look at it and say, wow, now I know how they do it, or I know where they get the people that are actually doing this. And you don't tend to think about it at all when you look at our downtown skyline now and at all the tall buildings and think there were people up there doing that, what you were doing right here on the ground, at ground level.
Yeah, these are the ones that actually build the buildings. You know, the folks like Jeff Finnick and the others get a lot of the credit, but the folks that actually do the work are young women like Sam and other young men that have come through this program and now have their journeyman card, and now they're out contributing members of society.
We talk about building Tampa, and they're the ones that are actually building Tampa.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, engaged in it. By the way, we might mention that we are recording this before June, obviously, and as we record it, our Tampa Bay Lightning are in the Final Four, 1-1 against the Rangers. So I'm cheering for them. And,
absolutely. I've never watched so much hockey in my life.
I know, and I knew nothing about it as a kid.
I need a ring. I'll even trade my Penn State ring for a Stanley Cup ring.
To get a Stanley Cup ring, they're looking great. And, you know, even if they don't get it this year, they're looking really strong for the next year or the year after that. I think you're going to end up with a Stanley Cup ring.
Well, what I want is a parade to host the Stanley Cup champions.
Yep.
That's what I want, and we're going to be happy to do that like we've done it before. We want to bring Lord Stanley back to Tampa.
Yep.
You know, Jeff and Steve Eiserman have built an amazing team. They're a young team. We're going to be good for the next couple of years, but this is an exciting time for us.
It is. And again, I know you're looking for another Super Bowl, and that's the amazing thing about this community. We're the 19th largest metro, the 54th largest city, I think, in America.
53rd.
53rd.
We're growing.
And yet we have hosted Bollywood, we have held the Republican National Convention here, and four Super Bowls.
And we want one more.
And getting ready for another one. What's the scoop on that?
Yeah, we're shortlisted among 4 cities to compete for the 2019-2020 game. Some of those other cities have additions to their stadium or improvements, which gives them a competitive advantage. But the fact remains, we put on Super Bowls as well as anybody in the country.
Oh, yes.
The NFL knows it. We execute flawlessly. We are competitive wherever we go. So we're going to go make the pitch. Hopefully we'll do well. That will be my last year in office, 2019. So it'd be great to be the mayor when the Super Bowl comes. But rest assured, Tampa's going to have its A game going, and we're going to go make that pitch.
And I think people want to come here. I remember in past Super Bowls being in bars or being around people that are visiting here, and they want to come here. They want to be in the Tampa Bay area much more than they want to go to Atlanta or certainly Miami. And their facilities are way out in the boondocks too, and ours are right in town.
We know how to throw a party. We do it well.
Absolutely.
Listen. Thanks to Jack Jarrell and Local 397 here at the Iron Workers Hall. I hope you've learned as much as Jack and I have. This is a great opportunity if you're a young man or a young woman like Sam who's looking for a real career, a career that will allow you to move into the middle class, have consistency, have stability, have a great pension, have health care benefits. Come on out and learn a trade. They can teach you here how to weld, how to be an iron worker, but there are a lot of other apprenticeship programs around this community. They are producing the workforce of the future, and with all the development we have, Jack, we need bodies, we need skilled labor. Come on out here and learn a trade. Jack, we'll see you next month, and we'll see all of you next month too. Thanks for joining us.